Good morning, Emerson. Today is Tuesday, April 2nd. This ain't no joke. Joining us today, Ross Lippman and Bianca Buono from WEBN's Inside the Grapefruit League. They'll be sitting down with our sportsman Anthony Chase to preview the baseball season.
Plus, Rachel Ross-Sullivan will show us how to switch up your style into comfort this morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Megan Mitchell.
And I'm Joshua Sackheim. And Megan, we have a packed show today. A lot going on.
A lot going on, but a lot going on within Boston politics. Mayor Menino is not running for a sixth term.
Which in itself is unbelievable because I, for one, can't imagine a city like Boston without a mayor like Tom Menino. He is just such a fixture.
He is. You know, it's over 20 years that he has been in this position, and he actually got into the position. He wasn't even voted into it. So many people didn't think that he was going to improve or develop the city in any way, but he has.
Yeah, he proved him wrong. He became mayor in '93. He was city council president at the time. Ray Flynn was mayor. He stepped down to become the U.S. ambassador to Vatican City.
Yep.
Mayor Menino stepped in. Like you said, no one thought he'd be anything other than a placeholder, but he ended up proving them wrong. And 5 terms in itself, that's unprecedented.
I know, but his reason for not running a sixth term is kind of questionable. Many people, especially the media in Boston, although they are very, very, I guess, respectful towards him, it has been rumored around that it's because of these medical problems. He was hospitalized for a few weeks last year. But
a respiratory infection. They found that he was struggling with diabetes, which he's actually been doing very well with. But yeah, definitely some medical issues. Of course, he keeps on saying, look, that's not the reason. He actually said at a press conference a couple days ago, I could probably run again, I could probably win again, but I can't be mayor on a Menino schedule. I can run the city on a mayor schedule, but not a mayor Menino schedule.
But you know, even if he was to run again, it is actually said that he would have had a competitor if he ran again. But John Connolly is actually set to be the front runner in this
City
race
Councilor
now.
John Connolly. This actually, I think, throws a bit of a monkey wrench into Connolly's campaign strategy. His whole shtick so far has been I'm not Menino. We don't need a Menino. We need a new face and some fresh blood in City Hall. Now, no one running is going to be Menino.
I know, and you know, the great thing about Menino is that over half of his constituents, people in Boston, have said that they have personally met Thomas Menino.
It's unbelievable, and you know what? It's like they say in Boy Scouts. When you leave your campground, you want it looking better than the way you found it.
And he definitely did that.
That's what he did with this city.
Absolutely. Well, a lot has happened around the world since Thursday. Here's Tamara for the news stories for today.
Thanks, guys. Well, North and South Korea's last symbol of cooperation may be losing hope. Just this Saturday, North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, threatened to shut down a factory complex that jointly operates with South Korea. The industrial park has survived military tensions in the past and currently is a crucial source of cash for North Korea's workers. The newest threat may be an attempt to pressure South Korea and the U.S. to soften policies on the North, and the U.S. is working on easing tensions to avoid further threats.
The United States has no hostile intent toward your country. We are committed to peace.
Just last week, North Korea ordered all missile units to be on standby, but analysts are uncertain if the missiles actually exist. South Korean officials recently stated that although there has been no sign of danger, they are ready to retaliate if necessary. The fate of James Holmes' murder trial became official in court yesterday. Prosecutors decided if guilty, Holmes will face the death penalty. Just last week, Holmes offered to plead guilty to try and avoid facing death, but prosecutors say they did not receive enough information to even consider the deal. In documents filed Wednesday, his attorney said they were still exploring a mental health defense, which may still cause an effect to the case. Holmes is facing 166 counts of murder and attempted murder for last year's shooting that left 12 people dead and 58 wounded. Boston College's condom controversy is gaining national attention. The clash between the Catholic institution and the group Boston College Students for Sexual Health has sparked the interest of CNN. In an interview this past weekend, a BC spokesman accused the student group of disrupting the private college, provoking a media battle over Easter weekend. To fight back, the students created an online petition targeting the school's alumni, gaining over 1,000 signatures of support. BC authorities are standing by their decision until the meeting between opposing groups later this month. And if you think Facebook is private, you may want to think again. The social media site is purchasing information on its users from data brokers. The purpose of what some are calling an invasion of privacy is to properly target specific ads at specific people.
Track what you search, they track your social networks, they also track what links you click on. Why? So that they can advertise to you better.
The Electronic Privacy Information Center is urging the Federal Trade Commission to investigate the data received, concerned they might be violating a consent order requiring Facebook to toughen privacy. According to Facebook spokesman, users' personal identity always remains anonymous to advertisers. Those still skeptical about the privacy of their page can contact the data brokers directly to ask not to be tracked. Those are your headlines this morning. Now back to your hosts, Josh and Megan.
All right, thanks for that, Tammy. So Facebook, it's definitely had its fair share of problems with privacy and security. Do we think this has caused any permanent damage to their reputation?
You know, Josh, I think that Facebook is so big that I don't see anything really permanently damaging the website itself, but I think that people are definitely going to be more concerned about the fact that their information is out there and advertisers are receiving it.
Thanks, Tamara. Now, March Madness lived up to its name this past weekend with some very exciting games. Here's our very own Anthony Chase with a recap.
The most storied rivalry in sports is back for another installment as the Red Sox kicked off opening day against the Yankees in New York. Let's take you right to the action from yesterday. Top of the second inning, it's Shane Victorino against CC Sabathia. He'll line this one into left, and that'll bring around Jackie Bradley Jr. and Jose Iglesias. The Sox are going to take an early 4-0 lead, but the next batter would be Dustin Pedroia, and he's not done with this inning. He'll line this one into right, and scoring is Jacoby Ellsbury. Let's fast forward to the top of the ninth. Now Boston's still ahead, and here's Ellsbury with the grounder. Cano bobbles it, and the Yankees would lose their first home opener since 1986. Lester had 7 Ks through 5 innings to earn the win. The Sox bullpen also earned an A for the day, pitching in 4 shutout innings. Check in tonight to see if it's all too good to be true. Michigan, Syracuse, Louisville, and Wichita State, the final 4 teams remaining in the NCAA tournament. Louisville has been on a mission, but the team is playing inspired basketball now after sophomore guard Kevin Ware suffered a horrific broken leg that required surgery. Looking ahead to next week, 2 ferocious 4 seeds are going head-to-head, and 9th-seeded Wichita Shockers are living up to their name. We have learned that 2013, anything can and will happen. Celtics fans got a little taste of what the team would be like without veterans Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. Pierce left the Knicks game over the weekend with a sore ankle as the team collapsed to 108-89 loss. Pierce did not play in the loss against the Timberwolves last night. With Garnett still out with a thigh injury, the future does not look promising for the Celtics, who are relying on Jeff Green and Jason Terry's production to get them through the last month of the regular season. And finally, it's time to cut to the chase on college sports. New England does not play a big role in March Madness basketball, but the region dominates the Frozen Four. With Boston College out of the picture early, it's time for some new teams to shine in the spotlight. Quinnipiac, Yale, and UMass Lowell round out New England's representation, while St. Cloud hails from Minnesota. The most exciting possible matchup to look forward to here would be a Quinnipiac-Yale championship, as the 2 teams are crosstown rivals in the ECAC. That's your sports. Now let's turn to my teammates, Josh and Megan.
Now, Syracuse's 2-3 zone has caused some problems all tournament long. Do you believe that it will stifle Trey Burke and the Wolverines?
Well, I think they're going to have a tough run at it. Michigan is a very good team. They're averaging about 68 points a game. That's Syracuse is averaging that many. And their teams that play against them are averaging about 40 points a game. So if their defense is on, I think they can have a good chance of going to the finals here.
All right, and Anthony, with so many Celtic greats, where will Garnett and Pierce fall respectively among all the other Boston legends once they retire?
Well, it's an easy question for Pierce, Josh. All-time legend. Right up there. I'd put him up there with Larry Bird. You know, he's a champion. He's been on this team his whole career. I think Garnett is always going to have a special place where he played in Minnesota for the Timberwolves, but he wants to retire in Boston. Clearly, he's going to be another Celtics great.
Always great stuff, Anthony. It's time for a break, but when we come back, we're sticking to the sports theme.
former GME host Ross Lippman and Bianca Buono join us and take Anthony inside MLB spring training. Stay tuned for that.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. I'm joined now by friends of the program, Ross Lippman and Bianca Buono, who are the hosts of Inside the Grapefruit League 2013. Guys, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning.
Hey,
Oh, thank you.
good to be back, old stomping grounds. I miss
know.
this place.
Exactly. I love having you guys here, but you guys just turned out an amazing product. It's so much fun to watch, seeing you guys out there in the real world doing professional things. If you can even describe it in a few lines, how is that experience for you?
I mean, honestly, it was amazing. I formed some of the best memories I have had by far so far in college. I mean, you're down there, you're on the field, you're in the heart of the action, you're talking to the players that you idolize on the TV, and I mean, it was great.
This is the biggest thing I had to do all year. This was my baby. This was my project alongside my co-executive producer, Trevor Savage, my better half. It was just unbelievable. I couldn't have been happy with the team that went down. We did fantastic. It was great to see it finally come through and finally be a finished product that everybody can see now because it's done.
Definitely. Check it out on YouTube if you want, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But you definitely turned out a professional product and you did some real good reporting. So from the reporting aspect of it, what teams in the Grapefruit League do you see standing out this year? Did you guys think you talked to any World Series contenders while you were down there?
Definitely. I think that Ross and I personally spoke with the Detroit Tigers, and, you know, they were runners-up in the World Series last year, and I think with the addition of Torrey Hunter, I think that was their missing piece, and they added a closer in 22-year-old Bruce Rondon, who we also got a chance to speak to, and I think that those were the missing puzzle pieces, and they're going to be unstoppable this year.
Now, this is where we disagree, though, because I say it's going to be the Nationals. I got to go visit the Nationals in Melbourne, best team in baseball, bar none. They're ready, they're reloaded, they look great. And you saw that yesterday in their first game of the season. Right. 2 homers for Bryce Harper. Strasburg looks strong. I think that team is in it to win it, and I think they're going to do that this year.
Exactly. Well, there is a guy that you guys got a chance to talk to on the Red Sox that is pretty interesting. He's making a lot of noise now. I think you guys have a nickname for him.
Like JBJ. Yeah, JBJ.
So we have a little piece that we'd like to just show right now.
Roll it.
You know, whether it's at the plate and in the field, working on being able to control the outfield and actually move them and adjust them.
So my question for you guys is, what do you think we can realistically expect from JBJ this year out on the field for the Red Sox now that he is a part of the team?
You know, I think that we saw this yesterday, and he's a fighter. He is so happy to be on that roster this year.
What is he, Mark Wahlberg?
Yes.
He's a fighter. He's a fighter.
He is a fighter. You saw his at-bats against CC Sabathia, one of the best pitchers in the game. I mean, he had 3 walks yesterday and some great catches out in left field. And, you know, I think that he will do whatever it takes to stay on that roster.
I think the 2 most important things for JBJ, which I like to take credit for, I started coining that, is he's smart and he's humble. And I think the combination of those 2 things is what really is going to help him get by as a Red Sox. Right. I think that's important for this team in terms of the dynamic this team needs to have this season. I think he's a microcosm of what the Red Sox want.
I think that the future is looking bright for the Red Sox so far, but actually so is our weather. So for more on that, we have our favorite weather correspondent, Maggie Morlath.
Looks like Mother Nature played a big April Fool's prank on us yesterday. We saw some of the highest temps so far this year, with highs in the low 60s. I saw sandals, I saw shorts, but it looks like the joke's on us because we're going to be getting colder through the week. Today, we'll only be reaching the mid-40s, and the rest of the week won't be too much warmer. So let's go to the 5-day now to see what's up with Mother Nature's shenanigans. Today, we're mostly sunny with a high of just 44 and a low of 30. On Wednesday, mostly cloudy with lots of wind, high of just 44 again and a low of 30 again. On Thursday, we're pretty sunny with a high of 54 and a low of 38. On Friday, though, we've got some April showers, just a high of 54 again and a low of 38. On Saturday, we're sunny but a bit windy with a high of 48 and a low of 37. So Mother Nature may have fooled us this April 1st, but that doesn't mean that the beautiful spring weather won't be back soon. Back to you, Megan and Josh.
All right, thanks for that, Maggie. So some shocking news coming out of Hollywood yesterday.
Yeah, with more on this developing story, here's Logan Levitt.
Thanks, guys. Shane Gandy, one of the stars of MTV's Buck Wild, was found dead in West Virginia Monday morning. According to family members, Gandy told them he was going four-wheeling in his Ford Bronco. The reality TV star was found deceased in the vehicle, along with his 48-year-old uncle and another individual who is yet to be named. They were last seen by people at a local bar and were reported missing by family members at 3 a.m. on Monday. His death is the latest terrible news for the MTV show. 2 cast members were arrested in the last month for drug possession. MTV has yet to comment on the story. Actress Angelina Jolie is off the hook. A federal judge ruled Saturday that the star did not steal the story for her movie In the Land of Blood and Honey from a Croatian author. Author James Braddock sued Jolie and a film company, claiming the movie was partly based on his book, The Soul Shattering. A Los Angeles judge stated that although both were about war romances, the movie was not substantially similar to the book. The star of such movies as Girl Interrupted and Mr. and Mrs. Smith wrote, directed, and co-produced the film. She has yet to comment on the verdict. Now get ready for some deja vu. Lindsay Lohan is in the headlines for allegedly taking jewelry and clothes that weren't hers. No, I'm not talking about her 2011 theft conviction. The actress has been accused yet again for stealing things that didn't belong to her, this time on the set of FX's Anger Management. She reportedly took a bracelet, necklace, pants, and shoes because she wanted clothes to go out to a club in. There have been no comment from Lohan's camp on the allegations. Clips of Lindsay and on the set of Anger Management have leaked to the internet as well.
Love to, but I have to go to prison.
For how long?
About an hour.
Wow, you have a great lawyer.
People on set claim that the starlet was extremely unprofessional. They claim she was 2 hours late for filming and then refused to leave her trailer. Veteran TV journalist Barbara Walters is reportedly set to retire in 2014. According to multiple reports, The View co-host will leave TV for good in May 2014 after several programs saluting her career. Walters has suffered numerous health issues over the past year. The 83-year-old fell and hit her head in January and then was later diagnosed with chickenpox. A source told multiple news outlets that Walters made the decision herself and is not being pushed out. She's best known for being one of the top interviewers, having interviewed every president since Richard Nixon. She's expected to make the announcement in the coming weeks. Now that you're up to date on today's Hollywood headlines, it's time to send it back to Megan and Josh.
Thanks, Logan. Now, what are the current reports saying about Shane Gandy?
The last report I heard was that he apparently died of carbon monoxide poisoning, but we still have to wait on official death results. Of course, they have to do certain autopsies, and those results won't be in for a few months.
All right, and Logan, let's talk Barbara for a second. Barbara Walters, living legend, no doubt about it. What do you think her biggest contribution has been in the world of journalism?
I think she really changed journalism for women. She was the first woman to anchor the nightly news, and she was also the first woman to co-host the Today Show. So I think she really started journalism for women, and now they, it seems like there's a woman on every single show now. So she really changed it for them.
Very inspiring, but great insight, Logan.
All right, thanks for that, Logan. We're going to take one final break, but stay tuned because we're going to show you how you can redecorate your dorm room. Good morning. Welcome back to GME. Good morning, Emerson.
Now, our style correspondent, Rachel Ross-Sullivan, is going to show us how to liven up our off-campus apartments. It's good for me. It's good for Josh. I live off campus, although it's right next to campus, but still.
I lived on campus for quite a while, like many of us have, so I'm used to my idea of decorating my room is moving around my dorm furniture. There's something to be said about actually having furniture, accessories, being able to spruce up your room, and it's not that hard. There are some, economical and easy ways to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So here's Rachel with more.
Thanks, Megan. Thanks, Josh. Rachel here, filling in for Jasmine. Spring is finally here, and what better way to spruce up your off-campus apartment than with some inexpensive redecorating and do-it-yourself projects? Let's take a look. Hi, my name is Rachel Ross-Sullivan, and I'm filling in for Jasmine this week. Since it's springtime and people are looking to move into new apartments, I'm going to show you how to decorate an off-campus student's apartment on a budget. So I think that this area could use a little bit of color. Now this is a rented apartment, so we can't paint the walls, but I think that if we could brighten it up with a couple decorative pillows, that would make this area seem, have a little more pizzazz. I really like the appearance of her bedroom, but there are ways to make it more sophisticated. I think that if we remove the stuffed animals and put them in a different place, that would make it seem more adult. I think if we classed up the pillows in the bedspread, and I think that if we kept the lights, that would be good. So what we see here is a lot of utility, but it's not very cute. I see that she has some pictures here, and I think that it would be great if we could find some way to display that. I also see that she's got jewelry in these bins, and I think that if we could find some way to hang that up on the wall, it would show that she has really great taste. So I shopped around at Pier 1, IKEA, and Target, and I put some shams on her pillows. I also put a blanket at the foot of her bed. I added a few bird decorations around, because I like birds. I also, because we are on a student's budget here, made this pillow out of a t-shirt. And now I'm going to take you to the studio so I can show you how you can make inexpensive decorations for your apartment.
All right, and now Rachel, we have a bit of a do-it-yourself here. What do you got for us?
That we do. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to make your own pillow out of an old t-shirt. So
you can actually get probably a new t-shirt too.
Yeah,
right?
you can get whatever t-shirt you want.
Yeah.
Nice.
Have some fun with the design. We have something fun here.
We do?
Troy and Abed in the morning for all the community fans out there.
Yes, indeed. So what we're gonna do here is you take a fun t-shirt that you don't mind cutting up, and preferably make it an extra large t-shirt. You need to have some wiggle room. And so what you do is you take the t-shirt, let's move over here.
Okay.
And what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna lay it flat. And then you're gonna cut out the neck and the arm part.
Okay.
So what you're left with is something that looks kind of like this.
Now, are you going to cut the sides to give it that like two fabric? Like you're
Yes,
separating
that
the
is-
entire two fabrics.
That is exactly correct.
Okay.
And then what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna invert both of your sides so that the cool part of the t-shirt is on the inside.
Okay.
Okay. Now, why are we doing that?
That is for the seam allowance. So basically, like when your clothes, come made, all of the seams that are sewn together on the inside, and that you have a clean look on the outside.
Okay, so the design's going to disappear for a little bit.
Don't worry
be
about it.
fooled. Don't be saddened. It will reappear.
Yes, exactly.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
So then what you're gonna wanna do for this is you're gonna wanna sew 3 sides together, just 3.
Okay.
And that is because once you've sewn your 3 sides together, you're gonna flip it inside out, and you're gonna stuff it with the stuffing that you want. And then from there, you're gonna fold the 2 sides together, sew them back up, so the end product looks something like this.
This is really nice.
Yeah,
And
no.
it's a good consistency. Now, the stuffing, is that something you can get at any given, like, Michael's or arts and crafts
Oh,
store?
definitely. Windmill down the street, yep.
You know what? You can also make a bean baby now that I think about it. If you want, if you really want a bean baby.
You can make whatever you want.
You can make whatever you want, wherever you want, whenever you want.
But why or how are we going to sew the 3rd side up? Because I noticed that if you're trying to hide the seams, it's going to be kind of difficult to hide them if you're sewing it with the right side up.
Well, basically any simple knowledge of hand sewing can take care of that. You fold both of them down, you stitch it back up. It really is a very, very easy and inexpensive process. It's perfect for college students.
Yeah, that seems to be the great thing about this is it's something fun. You can play around with colors, designs, but it's kind of a great economical way to spruce up your dorm room.
Yeah, and not to mention, I think it's very, very interesting that, you can go to a fabric store, but I think for college students it is kind of inaccessible. But this is something that you can customize any type of pillow you want, because usually there's not usually pillows made out of, TV shows. There's usually going to be t-shirts.
Well, I do want to talk sizes for a minute, though. You suggested doing an extra large t-shirt because you want that wiggle room really quickly. Can you do it with a smaller t-shirt, maybe make a smaller pillow?
Definitely, of course you can. You can do whatever you want, Josh.
Okay, great. That's what I like to hear. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us. It looks like that's all the time we have for you today. I'm going to take a nap with this pillow, but per usual, thanks for waking up with us.
And we'll see you Thursday, same time, same place.